This week's GV Bounce, I'm Marc McGowan.
And I'm Damen Francis.
And we're going to take you through Goulburn Valley Football League Round 17, the penultimate round before finals. Things are getting exciting, Damon.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we start with Benalla and Rochester, which probably doesn't mean a lot, really, both sides. It's not going to change their position on the ladder. Tim Symon's only got 2 matches left in charge of Benalla, so he'll be looking to end his reign at the club on a good note.
Probably unlikely though. Rochester had a huge win against Tat last week and seemed to be firing at the right end of the season, so you'd expect them to win pretty solidly.
Absolutely.
And moving on to Shepparton United and Shepparton, both sides have genuine things to play for here. United going for that 3rd spot, and Shepparton, you never know, they could make the finals.
Yeah, well, they're still in the race. If Seymour keep dropping games in there, they can steal that last spot in the final. So there's plenty to play for them. And they had Glenn Archer around at training during the week, so hopefully he might have pepped them up a bit, given them a few words of encouragement, and that might do the job for them.
Hopefully, didn't work them too hard, Damon. It's Seymour and Shep Swans on to the next one. Seymour's the team that is in 6th spot at the moment. They're the team that everyone's chasing to get that spot. It's a bit of a shock, to be honest, because they have far too much talent to even be in doubt to make finals, but they should still make it, but they're going to have to beat the Swans this week.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a must-win game, like you said. I think Colbert and Sard kicked 11 goals last time, yeah, so look, if they can get the job done again, I'm sure they'll be too good for the Swans, but you just never quite know with Seymour at the moment.
And I think they're going to have to send Egan back just to cover one of those two, because they don't seem to have enough tools to cover those sort of guys, and if they're going to keep those tallies down, Egan has to be down there. On to the next one, Echuca and Euroa. Last time, really interesting game. It was only 5 points in Echuca's favour, but they had to kick 5 goals in the last quarter to none just to do that. So
big last
another
quarter,
close one.
Yeah, it was a bit heartbreaking for Euroa. I think they played really well last time with that last quarter, obviously very costly. Reece Archer kicked 9 goals. He was obviously the key. Nathan Happy Harper looks like he'll get the job this time, and he's been playing pretty well, so that could be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, one of his scalps has been Paul Newman this year, and not too many have been able to say that. So it's a tough ask against Archer, though, very nippy. Not your genuine marking target, so you'll have to have a few tricks up your sleeve. And over to Maroubna and Mansfield, the game I'll be heading to. Probably match of the round. Maroubna again, as we said earlier, trying to chase or hang on to that 3rd spot. United's the one chasing it, but they really have to win this one. This is the danger game. They have the toughest draw of those teams looking for the top 3 spots, so they're probably just going to want to win. I don't think it's going to be a matter of looking at the margin.
Yeah, well, Brad Campbell's always talked about winning ugly in the back half of the season, and I think they're really going to have to be happy with whatever they get this weekend, as long as it's the 4 points. Mansfield, obviously a pretty good side. Ordinary first half last week against Benalla, but in really trying conditions, and they bounced back and won pretty comfortably in the end. So they're in decent form, and I'm sure they'll provide a really good test for Maroubna.
Expecting Mark Blake and Mark Jones, that battle there in the ruck, to be the key. Mark Jones last time they played absolutely torched Jones, and that was the key to them ended up getting 9 goals to none in the 3rd quarter and going on to a 10-goal win. So
yeah,
Jones is going to have to lift
form that day. And look, he's a great ruckman. His tap work is fantastic, and probably the peak of the competition at the moment, so if he can get the job done there, that'll be a real boost for Maroubna.
Well, they're talking about the peak of the competition. Paul Kirby's probably the man challenging Blake to be the number 1 big man, and his side takes on Kai Abram this week. Kai Abram again, another of those sides with a slim finals chance if they can win their last 2, but starting with Tatura this week and then Rochester last in the last
really
round.
Tough end to the season.
Yeah, and Paul Newman obviously last week kept them alive with his 8 goals. Can he do it again, Dame?
Well, he's done it for much of the year. He's an absolute superstar, Paul Newman, and look, if he can kick his goals, look, Kai, you never know, but look, it's hard to not see Tat bouncing back. They're a really good side, and they'll be hurting a little bit from last week, and Steve Jones will be after a big response from them.
Yeah, definitely expecting them to bounce back. So that brings us to the end this week. Good luck for your teams, and we'll see you at the footy.